Workplace safety. On December 3rd, 1984, a chemical gas leak accident occurred in Bhopal, killing thousands while millions became victims of temporary or permanent disabilities. This incident is referred to as the Bhopal gas tragedy, considered among the worst industrial disasters in history. The cause of this accident was that more than 40 tons of methyl isocyanate gas leaked from a pesticide plant in Bhopal. Most of the plant's methyl isocyanate related safety systems were malfunctioning. Hence, water entered the tank, resulting in a chemical reaction. Within minutes, the chemical reactions in the tank reached a critical state, releasing gas into the atmosphere and endangering the whole city. Workplace safety is essential considering the nature of work and the associated risk. A security breach can harm employees, involve substantial financial loss, and reputational damage to the company. The Bhopal gas tragedy is an example of how paramount workplace safety is. In this module, you will learn what is workplace safety, what is the need for workplace safety, types of workplace hazard and prevention, benefits of a safe workplace. What is workplace safety? Workplace safety refers to components that can cause harm, accident, or any damaging outcome in the workplace. Often, workplace safety directly affects the productivity and health of the employees, which in turn will have a detrimental effect on the business. Therefore, workplace safety is a responsibility of every organization. On one hand, companies are accountable for maintaining minimum safety standards due to legal obligations. On the other hand, even employees should be trained adequately to identify situations that can jeopardize their safety or expose them to risks. What is the need for workplace safety? A work environment free from accidents attracts employees. However, every company has some health or occupational risk associated with it, and human casualty can have grave consequences on employees and their families. That is why workplace safety is vital. Nothing is more important than the feeling of assurance that one will return safely home from work. For instance, an employee working on a construction site has to deal with heavy equipment. In contrast, a worker employed in telecom has to deal with faulty wires. A female employee dealing with body-shaming comments, or a male employee scolded with abusive language. The need for workplace safety arises to restrict all these issues and make employees feel physically and emotionally safe. Types of workplace hazards and prevention. Workplace ergonomics. Ergonomics is a design to arrange space, objects, and systems so that the user experiences the safest, most natural, and most efficient movement and body posture possible. It aims to increase efficiency and productivity and reduce discomfort. The principle of ergonomics is using neutral posture, rotating tasks to avoid overwork of muscles or other tissues, using proper hand holds and proper gripping technique, and proper lifting or carrying or pushing or pulling procedures. The three main types of ergonomics are: physical ergonomics, the activities which can cause stress to the human body by affecting muscles, nerves, blood vessels, and ligaments, like standing in one place for hours or calling hundreds of customers in a single day. Cognitive ergonomics. Cognitive ergonomics is the discipline of making human interaction compatible with human cognitive abilities and limitations at work. The goal is to design products and systems that are simple, clear, and easy to use, contributing to a superior overall user experience. Organizational ergonomics. It includes having the knowledge and ability to improve systems of work to improve an organization's overall performance and effectiveness, like communication, quality management, teamwork, etc. Example: an employee having a height of 6 feet is allotted a small desk. He may do his work properly, but would soon feel stiffness or pain in his legs because he is unable to stretch his legs. As he is uncomfortable, he will not be able to concentrate on his work. This is an ergonomics issue that can be solved by asking for a comfortable workstation and moving around throughout the day. Fire safety. No matter the occupation, fire safety matters. Fire accidents are one of the most common and life-threatening situations in the workplace. Every employee must know about the emergency plans and the team responsible for executing them. Some of the causes of fire could be disorganized work environment. When workstations are scattered with flammable materials and lack ventilation, fire accidents can easily take place. Combustible material. Factories dealing with fire or chemicals during production should be extra cautious while handling them, as these materials catch fire quickly. Damaged electrical equipment. Accidents with electric tools are highly destructive and difficult to control as they spread rapidly. Prevention. Employees should be aware of how to recognize fire hazards, how to use a fire extinguisher, how to exit the building, place where employees should meet after an evacuation. Inflammable materials should not be kept open. Workplace harassment. Workplace harassment occurs when an employee feels threatened or belittled by a colleague, boss, senior, customer, vendor, which makes them uncomfortable. This leads to a toxic environment, and ultimately employees will become less productive. Harassment includes teasing, offensive calls, intimidating or offensive jokes, bullying, staring, asking for sexual favor, lewd gestures, etc. Example: an American cracking a joke on his colleague who is black. When he passes by her, he jokes about her looks and hair. Repeated jokes make her uncomfortable and she loses concentration on her work. Solution: if you don't like it, immediately show your disapproval. Report it to your boss. Contact HR. Hazards related to tools and machinery. The most severe industry problem today is injuries caused by handling machinery. If proper care is not taken, then people can get injured from moving machinery parts. Sharp edges can cause punctures or severe cuts on the skin. Parts of the machine can be hot or cold to cause a burn or could even cause an electric shock. Lack of experience or training can also result in injuries. Prevention. Before operating any machine, employees should check if the device is entirely free from defects and has all safeguard measures installed. Employees should be fully trained before using any machine or tool. Periodic maintenance should be organized to ensure defects are detected and resolved in time. Employees should ensure that machinery is turned off when not in use. Appropriate protective equipment must be worn while handling such machines. Employee health resource. Regarding safety, employees' mental and physical health is no less than a priority. Employees can be optimistic, motivated, and creative if they are healthy. Employers often arrange well-being programs to create awareness of having a healthy body and mind. Example: employees who consume too much junk and unhealthy foods often lack energy at work. They feel lethargic and inactive sooner than health-conscious employees. Employees should engage in physical activities like walking, exercise, yoga, etc. Take time for a hobby which will keep you rejuvenated. Replace junk food and sodas with healthy options like homemade food and fruits. Workplace violence prevention. Workplace violence is defined as the act or threat of violence, ranging from verbal abuse to physical assaults, directed toward people at work or on duty. Workplace violence may also include actions that damage an organization's resources or capabilities. Hence, the organization must develop and implement a comprehensive violence prevention program for its employees, contractors, and volunteers. Example: Mr. X works as an intern in a company. He has noticed several times that when it's time for him to leave for the day, his boss calls him and gives him an urgent task. Since his boss has a habit of staying late in the office, he expects Mr. X to do the same. This has been going on for a while now, and Mr. X is getting increasingly upset with his boss' attitude. One evening when Mr. X was about to leave for his brother's birthday party, his boss gave him a task to be completed by evening. Since Mr. X was already frustrated with his boss's behavior, he refused to do the work. Instead of letting him go, his boss threatened to fire him. In retaliation, Mr. X picked up a cup of hot coffee and threw it at his boss. As you see from the above case, Mr. X's anger just kept building inside, as he never mentioned to his boss to assign work in the morning rather than just handing it over when it's time to leave. He could have calmly informed him that it was his brother's birthday and would submit the work the following day. Moreover, since his boss works till late, he expects all his staff to do the same, which is unfair on his part. Preventions can be taken by training on dealing with aggressive or drunk personnel, conduct criminal and background reference checks for new employees, surveillance cameras can be installed, employees should be encouraged to report their concerns and respond effectively when any matter gets escalated. Online safety and cyber security. Cyber security is everyone's responsibility inside the office. E-safety in the workplace protects against breach of employees' data. It safeguards employees and customers from accessing illegal, dangerous, or inappropriate content in the workplace. Below are the tips to prevent you from cyber attack. Never share your password. Lock your screen before you leave your seat. Save everything on a shared drive. Never click on unknown links or attachments. Update and scan your computer regularly. Immediately report suspicious files to the IT team. Never give your computer access to an unauthorized person. Benefits of a safe workplace. Workplace safety should not be considered a regulatory obligation, as it offers significant opportunities. Listed below are some benefits. Maximize productivity. Productive employees are an asset to the company. The employee will be more productive if the workplace is safe, resulting in low operational costs. Minimize sick leaves and absenteeism. If employees are healthy, they will be happier and take fewer sick leaves, ultimately benefiting the company. Better safety equates to better health. Retain staff. When a company invests in safety, employees feel secure and happily work in that company. Reduce the costs of injury and workers' compensation. If an accident occurs inside the workplace, the employer has to bear the cost of the treatment, which is an expenditure for the company. Low replacement cost. Avoiding workplace injuries will reduce the replacement cost of equipment. If any machine has to be repaired or replaced, it's a loss for the company. A safe work environment is a quality of a good company. Employers should emphasize having a safe workplace while being cautious and taking all necessary measures.